Thanks for tuning in this Wednesday. 2K Sports presents the NBA. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. Now let's take a look at the starters for New Orleans. They've got Toppin, Gilgeous-Alexander out there with Morant. Then there's Jason Tatum. And it's Cousins in at the 5, roaming the paint. Cullum is out there with Martin. Then it's Robert Covington. Then there's Jonas Valanciunas. And it's Weatherspoon in at the 4-man position. Here we go. Tip-off goes to New Orleans. Tatum on the wing. Defended by Covington. Morant drives in. And Valanciunas pulls it down. Now McCollum. And the layup is good.
Look at McCollum just going to work. So good at using his creativity to find shots inside.
Here's Morant.
My goodness.
Oh, he is a highlight reel unto himself, guys.
That could be a contender for the dunk of the year, I think.
Without question, a crowd pleaser to the 10th degree.
Here's Toppin. And a great assist by Gilgeous-Alexander as that one goes in.
And hitting the mid-range jumper here early gives the defense just another thing to think about.
Well, they better be thinking about him. I mean, we know how dangerous he is.
Now here's McCollum. He doesn't hit that one. McCollum's gone 1 of 3 on the night. Toppin with it. And it's Martin picking him up. And here they come. Here's Weatherspoon, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
Unselfishness always admirable in a basketball player, and Covington consistent at giving it up when one of his teammates is open.
Here's Morant, and finished off by Morant.
Oh boy, to be young again.
Makes you nostalgic, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does make me look back a little bit, but I could never throw it down like that. It sure does look good.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
Tatum finds Morant. Offline with his 3. To the paint. It's tipped. 2 on the clock. And then Morant slams it in.
He got fancy with that one.
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
And I like it. I mean, some coaches might want to see just a sure-handed lay-in there, but for me, I don't mind a little extra.
And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. New Orleans leads by 1 and will return shortly. You have to like what you're seeing from Ja Morant.
You just love the patience in that first half. Waited until he got the look he wanted.
Well, you know what, guys? It was all about efficient offense, not rushing things, taking your time, finding the best shot on every possession.
So for New Orleans right now, we'll be Toppin out there with Jason Tatum. Then there's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Then there's Ja Morant. And it's Cousins in at the 5. 49 seconds left to play here in the second half. Back to Martin. 6 on the shot clock. To the inside. Yep, that one goes.
And he's pretty relentless inside. Valanciunas gets after it down low. It might not always look pretty, but he makes the most of his chances in the paint.
Now here's Morant. 6 points for him. Gilgeous-Alexander. Here's Cousins, and then Cousins with the dunk.
And when he's on the floor, offensive rebounding is always going to be a strength for them.
Greg, he keeps so many possessions alive, doesn't he?
And, you know, those second-chance opportunities can be game changers. He represents so much value to this team because of what he does.
Pass to Valanciunas. Inside.
You just love seeing a player with absolutely no fear.
Cool, calm, collected, and confident in the biggest moment of the game. Yes.
55 seconds left here in the second half. Here's Toppin. And he drives in. Money!
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points.
Hey, guys, I know I'm stating the obvious here, but those could be an important 2 points considering how close this game is.
A 3 from McCollum. Toppin pulls it in. And so here is New Orleans. They'll be trying to take as much time off the clock as they can.
Exactly. Expect to see longer possessions from this point on.
Absolutely critical chance right here.
They need this one to go their way.
McCollum with the ball. Guarded now by DeMarcus Cousins. Here's Martin. Yes!
And they do have a foul to give.
And we've got a timeout called by Steve Kerr. And he knows there's no room for mistakes and wants everyone on the same page. Well, given the scenario here, how do you approach this next possession?
You know, always intriguing to see what a coach draws up in this situation.
And we call those ATOs, or plays run after a timeout. They often make the difference in the game.
Here's Martin. Good!
And that was so clutch. I mean, they're in front by the slimmest of margins, in need of a stop right here. You had a foul to give there, but you'd rather not have it cost your team points.
I agree. I mean, you would have been better off using it on the floor and not on the shot. But the foul had to come either way, so it is what it is.
And so making both free throws, that'll give them the lead here.
And he's got such a smooth stroke, and it never changes, even in this kind of a high-pressure situation.
Martin. Oh, off target. And that's an intentional foul.
And you know what? Smart foul. We got to try and extend the game.
Good. It's not over. The clock is as much a problem for them as the score is right now, so they've got to try to manage it.
So the first one drops, and that will put them up by 2. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 3-point game.
Those were pressure-packed free throws, and he looked as cool as he could be. So big to give them that 3-point lead.
So it's a narrow victory for New Orleans, pulling it out for a W. This win, such a tremendous emotional boost for them.
Really an accomplishment and crazy finish to take a road game like this and simply deflate an entire building.
And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. And
you can't go back, try me. No one told you, now see that's a no-go. Oh, she fine like when I'm dancing.
the NBA on 2K Sports welcomes you to Wednesday afternoon basketball. Moments away, it'll be Cleveland going up against New Orleans. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And giving us the rundown from the sideline, David Aldridge. Now let's take a look at the starters for New Orleans. Morant is out there with Gilgeous-Alexander. Then it's Tatum. Then there's Obi Toppin. And it's Cousins in at the pivot spot manning the middle. And for the Cavaliers, at the forward spot, it's Strus and Mobley. A loaded backcourt. It's Garland and Mitchell. And it's Allen in at the 5. Strus's shot is good.
Excellent pass from Mitchell. His teammates are so fortunate to have a guy to make them better.
And finished off by Morant.
It puts the D in a tough spot when you have a point guard who can throw it down.
He really does, GA. He really does put pressure on you.
And you know, guys, showing how dynamic a weapon he is for this offense, they feed off of that energy and ability to make plays. It gets them going.
Garland with the bucket.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
Well, I'm going to credit the screen. I mean, that's a good, strong pick he lays there.
Now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander. Trains the three-pointer.
He does not lack for confidence. And He shouldn't. I mean, this guy is a dangerous scorer.
Garland against Morant. Garland the pass to Mitchell. Back to Garland from the arc. And Tatum pulls it down.
You know, he's not a knockdown shooter from there, but when you're that uncovered, you almost are forced to take it.
Out in the open court, few defenders can match up with Morant. He's too fast and skilled.
So nice passing by Cleveland here. Mobley finds Mitchell. Mobley sets the pick for Mitchell. Misses the three. We've got 22 seconds left in the first half. Pass to Allen. 3 seconds left. And then Allen slams it in.
And in terms of size, not your typical center, but man, he plays as big as any of them thanks to that terrific leaping ability.
So a tie game here as we finish the first half. We'll get right back to the action when we return.
Please direct your attention to center court. And get ready for the fan half-court shot from Cleveland. Thinking about the shot.
Here's Morant. On the court for Cleveland. Mitchell and Strus are your wingmen. A lot of length inside. It's Mobley and Allen in the post. And it's Garland in at the point. Now, here's Strus. Following the miss by John Morant. The three ball. And it's Strus missing. And here's New Orleans now. Here's Morant. And finished off by Morant.
I'm amazed at Morant's ability to take contact and still stay in full control.
Garland kicks to Mitchell. 17 seconds left in the second half. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Now Toppin. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points. So one free throw coming up.
Hey guys, and he has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip.
He's getting his first free throw attempt of the game here.
And there's the ice cream with the apple pie, folks. Excellent trip up the floor to stretch this lead out.
Got it. What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
Assertive there by Garland. Terrific off the bounce and just able to get by the defense.
Good, solid execution inside. That's exactly the look you want.
And Kenny Atkinson calls timeout. This is a huge moment, folks, in this game. And he wants to be prepared. And so it's Cleveland with it, trailing by 5. Here's Mitchell. Rebound by DeMarcus Cousins. It's Morant with the drive. And finished off by Morant.
Late in the game, up big, they continue to attack.
I don't think you want to get loose and sloppy or ease up, but it is time for them to start using that clock a bit. Well, I tell you, that was double duty right there. He influenced the shot and then got back and cleaned the glass.
And the layup falls. Morant's got the lead up to 9 now for New Orleans.
And credit the whole team. It was a focused, concerted effort to put this one away.
Yeah, what a time to put the hammer down. Any hope of a comeback? Diminished.
And Morant throws it down. So we see New Orleans taking the W here. This was a very strong showing for him, Greg. Not necessarily a runaway win, but one they'll feel very good about.
And let's face it, anytime you can go on the road and win in the fashion they did, you have to feel good about it. Really an outstanding effort all the way around.
And that about wraps it up. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, This is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. And now we present the player of the game, Ja Morant. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for this NBA presentation. This is Kevin Harlan with Hall of Famer Doris Burke and Greg Anthony, giving us the rundown from the sideline courtside, David Aldridge. Now let's take a look at the starters for New Orleans. We've got DeMarcus Cousins, Tatum out there with Toppin. Then it's Morant, and it's Gilgeous-Alexander in at the two-guard spot. Cassell is out there with Hornacek. Then there's McDyess. Then it's Derek Lively, and it's Ham in at the 3 slot. It's safe to say Jason Tatum is a bona fide superstar.
He certainly is, Kevin, and really been a big-time star from the time he was 23 years old. Lots of pressure on this young player, but Jason's not only embraced it, he's thrived under it.
You know, Doris, from the moment Jason Tatum entered the NBA, he has been the guy on his team. How big a burden do you think that is for a player to carry?
Well, Jason Tatum, regardless of how much responsibility he has always worn it gracefully. This young man, from the time he was a little kid in St. Louis, has dreamed of leading an NBA team. He is doing exactly that. Here's Hornacek after the made shot from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and he gets it to go. Well, there's an unpredictability to his offensive game. He is always keeping the defense off balance.
Here's Tatum over Ham. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
Well, seized up just a little bit at the last second. That's when he normally converts.
Cassell, no good. Now, here's Cousins. Pass to Morant. New Orleans moving it around. And he's good on the 3-ball. Gilgeous-Alexander's got 5 points so far.
Well, that's an opportunistic 3-point shot from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He liked the look of it.
Here's Ham. Gilgeous-Alexander covering. Got a piece of it. Gilgeous-Alexander with the steal. And New Orleans pushing it up now. And then Toppin with the jam.
My goodness, Toppin puts on a show. What a special dunker this guy is.
Cassell, the pass to Lively. Pass to McDyess. Hornacek outside. 6 to shoot. And a miss there on the triple. Here's Toppin. And Toppin throws it down.
Of the two offenses here tonight, you can tell theirs is just a bit more in sync.
And I think because of that, they've gotten the better looks to start this basketball game.
That'll do it for the first half. New Orleans on top, up 9. We've got more in store for you right after this.
You know what time it is. It's time for your fan half-court shots. Please direct your attention to center court. Drums, please.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander really making a difference here.
And even with the defense shading towards him on every trip down, he still finds a way to come up big.
Well, he knows they're coming for him, but he's accustomed to that kind of attention, and he's quite comfortable dealing with it.
McDyess is out there with Derek Lively. Then it's Cassell. Then there's Hornacek. And it's Ham into the 3. So that's how Tom Thibodeau starts the second half drive. McDyess can't hit. New Orleans with the ball. They lead by their biggest margin of the game, 9. The shot's good from Gilgeous-Alexander.
Let's remember that at 6'6", Shai Gilgeous-Alexander can more than handle himself near the cup.
Pass to Ham. And he converts the layup.
Terrific play call to give him a clean look at the rim. That's how you want to start the second half.
Well, there is nothing better than catching a rhythm as early as possible. And, boy, that's a terrific start right there.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
To me, this is simply stated been a complete lack of defensive attention and focus all night long.
Gilgeous-Alexander with the steal. Pass to Morant. Outside, Gilgeous-Alexander. Good, and a nice assist from Morant. Gilgeous-Alexander's got the lead up to 14 now for New Orleans. And so now the timeout taken by Tom Thibodeau. A big group substitution here for New Orleans. Lucas is checked in for Cousins. Giannis comes in for Toppin. James Posey's checked in for Jason Tatum. And it's Jalen Brunson in for Morant. And Marshall kicks to Jackson. Kicks it out to Allen. 30 seconds left here in the second half of the game. And here's Brunson. He'll bring it up for New Orleans. Takes a three. Rebound by Marshall. Not sure the miracle, Greg, is on hand here tonight for them.
Well, they need one, but gonna play it until the final whistle.
Jackson has the open look. So we see New Orleans taking the W here. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for joining us here on 2K Sports for NBA basketball. This is Brian Anderson with Grant Hill and Stan Van Gundy. And out on the sidelines is Allie LaForce. And checking out the New Orleans opening lineup. They've got DeMarcus Cousins. Top it out there with Jason Tatum. Then it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And it's Morant in at the point. And for the Spurs, up front, they're going with Johnson and Wemby. Vassell and Barnes are the 2 and the 3. And it's Paul in at the point guard position. Now here's Johnson. And he got the whistle on the way up. So he'll be headed to the line for a pair. Stan, when you talk to others about Keldon Johnson, one of the things you hear is that he's a natural leader.
Yeah, Brian, look, the intangibles with him are off the charts. This is a guy that got on the United States national team because of the kind of person and player he is. He leads by example every day.
Now here's Gilgeous-Alexander.
There's that man, Gilgeous-Alexander. So tough to contend with his quickness.
It's his first trip to the line. That free throw good from Gilgeous-Alexander. That's also good, so he hits both free throws.
That's what he does. Rock solid at the line.
And it's Paul with the ball for the Spurs. Pass to Wembanyama. Back to Paul. Wembanyama, screen on Morant. Clock at 6. Paul's got space. And he buries that one. Back rim and in. Paul against Morant. The shot comes out. Paul with some nice D. Barnes feeling it out a bit. Lets the three fly. It's hauled in by New Orleans.
Defensively, pick your poison. That time, they gambled off the right guy.
And slam dunk by Gilgeous-Alexander.
All it takes is a sliver of daylight, and Gilgeous-Alexander will exploit it.
Outside Johnson. Paul, a screen on Toppin. Toppin against Johnson. For three. Ja Morant grabs a miss. And we've got 28 seconds left in the first half. And down it goes. Jam that one home.
Oh, save that for the dunk contest. That flush was so extra.
Whether or not this game is close, he's the same guy, focused on finishing firm at the rim. Pass to Vassell. And here's Johnson. Now here's Wembanyama. Checked by Cousins. 3 seconds left. And the first half comes to an end. We've got a close game going here. It's New Orleans. They lead by a bucket. We've got more in store for you right after this. Here's New Orleans now. 2-point game. So on the floor for San Antonio. Vassell and Barnes are the 2 and the 3. Up front, they're going with Johnson and Wemby. And it's Paul in at the point. Now here's Vassell. Outside Paul. Fires the 3. Hits the three-pointer. Paul's got 5 points.
And Paul is very selective with his shot attempts, especially from deep. So you know he liked that look.
And that one's good. Morant.
Keeping pace here. That's an excellent move inside.
And so Paul will bring it up for San Antonio. Pass to Johnson. Right side, Wembanyama. Vassell outside. Three-pointer. And Toppin pulls it down. Morant with it. He's picked up by Vassell. Hey, Tatum getting it done inside.
And clearly he needs no time to warm up.
And Greg Popovich has called timeout. The pressure is on, and he's got a plan to share with his guys. San Antonio with the ball. They trail by 3. Morant against Paul. Count it!
Fearless play by Morant. Goes up against tough coverage and still manages the inside shot.
There's 48 seconds left to play in the game. To the inside. Tipped. Cousins with the steal. And so they choose to intentionally foul.
First personal foul. First team foul.
Here's Morant. Good D by Wembanyama.
Wow. Missed the easy one right there, right at the rim, but came up empty.
Good size on Vassell. Learning how to maneuver it inside.
Second personal foul. First team foul.
He drops the first one, and that shrinks the margin to just 4. He's off on the free throw, unable to get the second one to drop.
Just a tough miss at the line. They're down 2 baskets now. Whoa, that is as clutch as it gets. Big time play.
Yeah, don't you just love to see a player embrace that kind of pressure?
He hits the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And he hits both free throws here, and it's a 4-point ball game.
Showing great confidence from the line. That makes this a 2-possession game.
Time called here. San Antonio decides to talk it over. Turning here to our analyst. What elements become the primary keys at this point?
An uphill battle for them. Everything has to go perfectly.
Well, I'm sure they'll run a play they believe in. If it works, I say try for the steal, and if you don't get it, immediate foul.
And an intentional foul there stops the clock.
Getting a little desperate at this stage. I mean, the clock's the big factor.
Good on the first, and that'll put them up 2. So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
Yeah, at this point, they're going to have to go for the 3 and try to force OT.
Here's Wembanyama. It's hauled in by New Orleans, and now they decide to foul intentionally. And he misses the first one. Boy, he wanted that one to go. And he ends up making the second, and that gives him a 4-point cushion. 11 seconds left in the second half of basketball. The 3 from Barnes, and it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Barnes.
Goes to the away team.
And now an intentional foul. They need the ball back as soon as possible. First free throw is good, and that puts him up 5.
John Morant, 2 shots.
Second free throw, no good that time. He really wanted that one. He gets the first, and that shrinks the margin to just 4. And both free throws good for Wembanyama. And they need to stop the clock, so there's the foul. So the first one drops, and that gives him a 4-point cushion. And so he drops them both, and it's a 5-point game.
No doubt, that just about seals it.
And so it's New Orleans winning this one. And they barely squeezed out the win here on the road.
And BA, the visiting team is always under some added pressure, but they made it work and got the win, whatever the margin may have been.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Grant Hill, Allie LaForce, and